Welcome to Clutch, episode 16. This week, we're diving into the fight world's biggest buzz, rumors, announcements, hot takes, and cold facts. From shocking results to locker room whispers, boxing, MMA, and everything in between. Let's get into it. Following a successful knockout weekend, the focus of next week's discussions will undoubtedly be on the newly crowned champion. From all the talk, it's clear that no one wants to acknowledge Topuria's accomplishments. However, he deservedly took the top spot in the P4P rankings. However, the beginning of the new champion's journey begins with a 2016 Instagram post from 9 years ago. Then, Dana White congratulating Ilia Topuria in 2020 after winning his UFC debut on 9 days' notice.
That was a perfect fight for you, though. You needed a guy like that to get in here and show you the level here. You know, and this kid's fought 4 times this fucking year, so he's in great shape. You know what I mean? Pleasure, brother. Congratulations, man. All right. Welcome to UFC, brother.
Earlier this year, 6 months ago, Khabib said this about Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev.
Ilia Topuria. He said, you know what? I want to go up to 155 pounds, fight the #1 contender, and then if he wins that, then he fights Islam.
If he move up and he beat somebody like Oliveira, he's next. Why not? Because there is nobody.
So you don't think right now Ilia deserves a shot at 155 pounds?
Without fighting in 155? Without? No, I don't.
But
if he move up and he beat somebody like Charles Oliveira, of course. You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think he can beat him.
Yeah.
I think he can beat him.
I like Charles, but I think so too.
No, I think Ilia can beat him.
At some point, in preparation for the fight, Ilia Topuria sparring welterweight Kamaru Usman.
Wow. Yeah.
Here's the fight, here's the knockout, and Makhachev's manager Ali knows this is the end of Islam. After a sensational knockout, Arman Tsarukyan went off on Ilia Topuria.
I'm gonna strike him, I'm gonna kick him. I watched his first fight and he was wrestling a little bit. He got tired so much. And he never fought with wrestlers like me. Bruce Mitchell, or what's his name? Bryce Mitchell. He's the worst fighter in 145. He took him down and like hold him from the crazy position. I can tell he's not high level. I mean, it's not WWE. I can't wait to show like everybody.
You said Bryce Mitchell's the worst fighter at 145.
I mean, did you watch his fights?
I did. I've watched the fight.
His kicks, like, he think he's kicking the ball, I think.
Like soccer?
Like soccer, yeah.
You're so crazy, Arman. You're crazy.
I'll send Topuria back to top 15, pound for pound. For me, it's easier to fight Topuria than Oliveira. And then you can, like, just go, like, 1,000 times to take him down because he's not gonna try to choke you or something, you know?
Well, that Bryce Mitchell fight that you were speaking about, he won that fight by submission. Arman?
I mean...
Impressive. Most impressive.
To all the talk included Paddy Pimblett, which says Charles Oliveira's performance against Ilia Topuria was embarrassing.
I really like Charles, but what the fuck was that game plan, lad? You know what I mean? Stand in front of him and get punched in the face. First 20 seconds he did a little bit, teeped him, leg kicked, and I was thinking, oh, we could be in for a tough night for Topuria, and then Charles got it once and just started swinging with him. But when he was walking out, I did turn to Graham and say, he looks nervous.
Yeah.
And when Ilia walked out, he was just smiling. I don't know what, as I say, I'd love to know what their game plan was, because that was just, like, it was half embarrassing. What are you doing, just standing in the middle and swinging punches with him when he's a top-class boxer and he's got power? It's just, it blew my mind at how stupid he could be after, it was his 47th pro fight.
Yeah.
And he was going in there like an But at the time,
More, Pimblett says Ilia Topuria got the title shot against Volk because of him.
But at the time, Ilia was a nobody, and I was a somebody. So he wanted to become a somebody off my name. I still say to this day, he wouldn't have got a title shot that fast if it wasn't for me and him having beef.
Yeah.
Because no one knew who he was. You know what I mean? He's just a McGregor clone. I've said this before in several interviews. People just think he'd steamroll me, you know what I mean? But it's different when there's that much size difference. People think that, you know, I'm not good enough to go against him and stuff like that. But, laddie, he's a midget. So I said to them, I will finish you, little boy. You know what I mean? Because he's like that much shorter than me. I'm so much wider than him.
Yeah.
Like, as I said, I'd just kick a Topuria around the cage. I can't wait to shock a lot of people.
Please, this is serious.
It's worth noting that Ilia Topuria has surpassed Islam Makhachev not only in the rankings, but has become the most followed fighter in the UFC.
Amazing. Get it?
However, the fighting elites also showed respect, the first of whom was Merab. He says Ilia Topuria dropped him twice during sparring.
And I sparring with him. He has a great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu. We all know that he hits like...
So were you sparring with him last week when he was here?
No, not last week. Man, I can't sparring with him anymore because he hits hard.
He hits too hard.
Yeah, he dropped me 2 times from the body shot.
Wow.
Yeah, thank God my head is fine.
Yeah.
And then every time I finished sparring with him, I was happy and thank God.
It's over?
It's over, yeah.
That is so cool.
Demetrious Johnson thinks Ilia Topuria will end his career like Khabib, undefeated and with nothing left to prove.
I think he's a unicorn. Like, I think you're going to see him 3 or 4 more times, maybe 5 max, and he's going to disappear. He's like, I'm done, undefeated. He could be a potential Khabib. Someone who just leaves the sport. It's like, I'm done. Don't need to prove anything. I won the belt at 45, 55, and shit, potentially, you know, he could fight at 172.
You know something? You're right.
Daniel Cormier finds out Ilia Topuria has that family money, just like Arman Tsarukyan.
So when I talked to Ilia, I was talking to him about his $2 million gym that he has in his house, and I go, well, man, now you might have money now after these 2 wins, but before I'm like, how do you have so much money? Come to find out, Ilia got family money. Ilia's rich. Hey, Ilia's got family money. And then Tsarukyan, I saw Tsarukyan just housing $1,000 a bite of caviar. He's just housing like caviar. Like, Arman's like rich. Could you imagine 2 rich dudes fighting for a UFC title? Like 2 rich dudes that didn't get their money in fighting would be the craziest thing because rich dudes don't fight.
We started making a lot of money.
This guy's stream froze just before Ilia Topuria KO'd Charles Oliveira.
Dude, it's fucking up our stream. Turn it off. Dude, what the fuck? Turn that shit off. No. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh shit. Everybody gets so quiet. Oh no. Oh my god. Dude, no, this is way too long. Where's the remote? No. No fucking way.
Pantoja brought his 5th UFC home, never been knocked out or submitted in over 30 pro fights, 4 UFC title defenses, top 5 pound for pound in the UFC. Alexandre Pantoja is getting the respect he deserves as one of the best in the world.
Yeah, baby.
And now for the other events. Ikram Aliskerov has announced he is out of his UFC 318 clash with Bruno Pereira on July 19th due to a broken foot. Israel Adesanya and Jan Blachowicz shared a brief but respectful moment backstage at UFC 317.
Who's your next fight? I don't know, end of the year. Me too. I'm trying to find fucking Strickland, bro. We'll see. You look good, brother. See you, man. Proud of you.
We're not friends.
Israel didn't like a fan asking him to say Jon Jones today.
Hazy, can you say fuck Jon Jones?
Wait, look at me. Bro, that's rude. Why would I say fuck Jon Jones? We ain't cat. Even though he's going to do some stuff, I don't like to kick a man
The most accurate video about Ilia Topuria's UFC career so far.
Mi amor. Papa. Niño.
Bueno. Alex Pereira completely dwarfs an average guy.
No, you're not serious.
DC pulled a one-of-one Jon Jones card.
I got a gold label Jon Jones. Don't touch it, that's mine. I'm selling that. Yeah. That's my shit right there. I got a gold label. Look at that. Yeah, that is nice. That's don't touch it. It's number one. One of one.
No.
Yeah, it's one of one. I swear. No, I want it back up. You don't want it. Everybody try to touch my shit. I got a one of one.
Can I see it? There you go.
Why you out? What you gonna do with it?
I just want to see it. I've never seen them.
It's right here. Put your fingers all over. Don't touch it. No,
I know how to hold them.
Hey, DC stands on business, bro.
Kamaru 101.
I didn't know you were such a fan of Jon Jones.
Nice. Jack Della Maddalena doing his best Nick Diaz impression.
With the event, location, all the details, and that should give StreetX everything they need to you guys to go ahead with formulating something for Jack.
And jumping off that date with
Everything after the Kimura was buttery smooth.
Get that hand back inside, then roll. Get that hand back in front of your body. Make space good. Hands, get back on the floor. Back on the ceiling. Back on the floor, Devin. One red. 2-on-1. Focus on one hand. There you go. Get that back on the floor. Look up at the ceiling. Hips at the ceiling. Get your leg out. You got your body triangle. Get that leg free. Get your legs behind his.
UFC 321 is heading to Abu Dhabi. If Joshua Van wins gold in 2025, he'll be the second youngest UFC champ ever, right behind Jon Jones. The future's now. Merab Dvalishvili targeting a return to the Octagon in October-November. Yuri Prohaska responds to Magomed Ankalaev, "Hey, clown, I finished university like you finished elementary school, I hope." Islam Makhachev's manager says Islam Makhachev is the real P4P king, not Ilia Topuria. The UFC 2 Divisions champs. Ben Askren has received a double lung transplant. What fight are you most excited for this month? Edgar Berlanga has some serious speed. Conor Benn cannot wait to run it back with Chris Eubank Jr. in September. Jake Paul has officially been ranked number 14 in the new WBA Cruiserweight rankings. Paul is now eligible for a world title shot against current champion Zurdo Ramirez.
Awful, by the way. Right? Yeah, terrible.
Eddie Hearn believes Jake Paul deserves more credit.
Cruiserweight. I mean,
what do you reckon to that, mate?
Look, I think that I've surprised myself this week because I actually haven't given him the respect that I think he deserves, which is, look, this guy has been fighting for a while now in big events around the world. He went into the game as really a complete novice. I think he's made big improvements as a boxer. I think he's taking things seriously. I don't think he's a YouTuber anymore, right? I think he's a professional boxer. Is he top 15 in the world? Don't be so ridiculous. But is he top 100 in the world? Maybe. And by the way, I know that might not sound like a compliment. That's a big compliment. I think his IQ's improving. I think he can whack. I think he can take a shot. He beat Chavez, who's a washed-up guy, but he was a former world champion that did train for that fight. So I think you have to give Jake his props. And look, he's a disruptor. He wants to create mad moments. If he wants to be mad enough to get in the ring with Anthony Joshua and make several tens of potentially hundreds of millions, he will do it, Jake Paul. Will AJ? I mean, he's his own man, but I would be saying, yeah, cool, mate, go and deal with this guy, get him out of the game. And I think a lot of people would tune in to watch, but is it a fight that I think should be happening? No, not really. But, you know, we live in a completely crazy world, especially in the world of boxing, where